Thank you for tuning into another episode of She Laughs, a podcast dedicated to bringing you honest and transparent viewpoints in this daily faith journey. Now join with me as we listen to T and Kristal discuss the latest.
What's up, everybody?
What up, everyone? It's your girl, Kristal.
It is Tanisha, and welcome back to another episode of She Laughs.
Yes.
Everyone has been doing fairly well.
Yeah, it's been
indeed.
Couple of weeks since we last spoke with you all, so we apologize.
Right, shout out to all the Eagles fans. The Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, so...
I didn't even remember who was playing. All I wanted was to see Kendrick. Let's just be clear.
The only reason why I know is my father is an Eagles fan since he was born in Philly. He's an Eagles fan, so that's really why I remember.
Shout out to Pop. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I remember. But yes, everyone, if that was your team, congratulations. But congratulations to the Blacks for Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance.
Listen, that performance was the most pro-Black performance that I have ever seen in the Blackest month in the Blackest city at a time when it was needed. I mean, and for folks that I just don't understand, I mean, every year, people always complain about a halftime show. And I get it. If it's not someone you're into, just be mute. Say, that's not an artist that I like, so that performance wasn't for me.
People don't know how to do that, though. You're asking people to do something that they just don't do.
I just was like, yo, okay, it wasn't what you liked. Be quiet. And I think I was more so annoyed by Black people that were downing Kendrick. Given the climate of our country right now, I was just like, look, you don't have to be a Kendrick fan. Don't say, hey, he's not my favorite artist. This wasn't a thing I really enjoyed, but I get what the message was. Be done. But
I mean, they might not have got it, and that's okay.
But geez, I was like, are y'all really gonna sit up here and tear down? You know what? Let me just exit out the chat.
Why not? That's part of human nature, Kristal. We tear down things we don't like. We tear down things we don't understand. And sometimes we tear down things we do understand. We just don't like the fact of whatever it is they're saying.
You know what? You right. And this is why I tell God daily, I'm glad he's God and I'm not. Because I am exhausted at this point with humanity.
That's just what we do.
I'm exhausted. And that's just, if you want to know, like, just edging on into how you feeling right now, humanity, you're exhausting me. Let's just, I want to turn the world off and then turn it back on and see if it acts right.
You want to hit the reset button?
That's how I feel right now.
She wants to hit the reset button.
Major reset. Right. Not the Make America Great Again reset. I want a whole worldwide reset.
Right. Button. That's understandable. But, I mean, hey. It is what it is. It's done. Those that got it.
Yes.
Those that didn't. Those that liked it. Those that didn't. The point is, he performed. It was amazing.
It was amazing, and we needed it. We really did need that. We needed that. So, how you been doing though, sis?
Been doing pretty well. Oh Lord, y'all forgive me. I'm so tired today. But yeah, nothing interesting has happened. So God is good, man. Been doing pretty well. What about yourself?
I'll definitely say God is God is Godding right now. I'll be honest. I have good days and bad days because he has me on a whole faith journey right now. And anybody who knows about when you're in the midst of a faith journey, it is literally God. I really don't know what you're doing
True that.
right now. You're not even letting me see too far. So, but yet I trust you. So the closest I can think of, I think it was at one point, it was the famous sound bite of Kevin Hart going around and folks was relating it to God. And he was like, where you going? I don't know. Well, what you gonna do when you get there? I don't know. Well, you gonna get something to eat? I hope. I'm hungry.
Right.
I'm like, Lord, that's where you got me right now. And, it's exciting and it's scary and it's also a very interesting season. So that's where I'll say I'm at, y'all. Like
All
God
the
is
things, all the feels.
all the things, all the feels. But God is faithful. So I'm content in knowing that.
Good.
So
Actually, that kind of goes with the quotable I have for today.
okay, what's your quotable?
So my quotable is, faith is not the absence of action, but the refusal to interfere with what only God can do. Watch God do it.
Ooh, that's speaking to me today. All right. I ain't even gonna read my quotable then. Or we just gonna go. They're
That
saying
and I was like, yeah, that is another revelation into what faith is, the refusal to interfere with what only God can do. So
listen,
faith is not passive. Faith is active, but it's actively surrendering.
yes.
It's taking
Jesus.
your hand off of it.
Well, thanks, Tanisha, for taking my guardian angel's flip flop and slapping me in the face with it. That was much appreciated.
Trust without tampering.
And that's difficult to do because especially for us when God gives you a word and you're like, all right, I'm going to run with it. And then God gets quiet and then you start adding to it. Well, then maybe it was supposed to be this way, or maybe it was supposed to be this way, or da 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 da. And you really start tampering with what God first told you, what word God gave you, what promise God gave you. And then it becomes less about God and more about bringing that promise into fruition through your own strength and might.
Right.
Instead of letting it happen. Faith is very much so an action verb. It's not just trusting him to do what he said do, but trusting the steps in the order that he tells you to take them.
Right.
And sometimes those steps are not the most convenient. So let's just be honest.
It's never convenient. We lie to ourselves all the time. I don't know why we think it's going to be convenient. It's never convenient. Ever. It's like we get amnesia. I think in reading that quotable, I thought of, and it just came back to me when you said that, we have to stop the saying and the action of, I'm going to take what God told me and run with it. That's a problem. We run with it. We never hide it in our hearts like scripture says.
Yeah.
We run with it. That's your problem.
Sometimes run with it and haven't even dissected all of what it means yet.
You run with it. He didn't ask you to run with it. I want you to sit with what I'm telling you I'm going to do. I want you to trust that I'm going to do it. Then how about ask him, Lord, what do I do in the waiting phase while you're doing it?
Yeah.
We immediately run with it. And what we end up doing is we take on what we shouldn't be taking on.
Yeah. Yep.
And it causes us to waver instead of wait. And then we find ourselves getting this push to move, this urgency. I gotta do something. Well, I gotta move. Well, I can't just stand here. Who said that?
Because you literally could.
You get this anxiousness of, well, if I don't blank, then blank won't get done.
Yeah.
Did God tell you he was going to do it, or did he tell you to do it?
Yeah.
We take matters into our own hands. As if, again, he needs a suggestion.
You're talking right.
Then we arrogantly say, because it's arrogance, well, let me help you help me. He don't need your help. Look, he doesn't need your help. He doesn't need your help. He doesn't. This is a rebuke for everyone. If you can hear my voice, it is a rebuke for everyone, because you cannot arrogantly say you've never done that. You're lying.
Listen, he done popped myself on the hand a few times just in past couple of weeks. So I am telling you all, we are not saying stuff to y'all that we ourselves have not lived out. Like, I know I have tried to take over the reins. And it's okay if you have. The bigger thing is, did you turn and relinquish that control back? Did you say, you know what, I'm scared, Lord? Because typically that is why we do try to take over the reins, is because you're scared. You don't see the way, but you weren't made to see the way. You were made to obey what he last told you.
Yeah.
And then he allows that process to grow up your faith. So that was good. That was good, T.
You just allow him to guide your steps without rushing his timing. Allow him to work it out in the time frame in which he decides. And guess what? He doesn't need your counsel on what that time frame.
And it's difficult, but it can be done.
It's doable. It's doable. You can do it. Is it going to be hard? Absolutely. Guess what? He can help you with the hard parts of it.
Yes, Lord.
But we allow ourselves to get drained. And then, out of the frustration of being drained, that's when we just, I just want to do it. Wait, first off, that's not how this works. Secondly, where was your discipline and holding your stamina? Why did you make sure you did what you do so that you wouldn't become weary in well-doing?
Yeah.
Don't act like you don't know what to do. We all know what to do to keep ourselves from becoming weary.
Yes.
We just aren't disciplined enough to make it a routine.
Right.
So that if we get depleted, we totally forget, oh, wait, there were things I needed to do so that I wouldn't get depleted. Let me go back to doing things. Somewhere I got off the rail. Let me get back on. No, we get depleted and we get angry.
Yeah. Hey, you speaking facts?
Hold on to the fact. The last thing he told you, it will happen. It will come to pass in God's timing and not yours. Not only should you trust his timing, but you should trust that the point of the timing is also for your benefit.
Yeah.
There are things he wants to work in you and work out of you.
Yep.
So it's benefit. So wait well, as we always say.
Wait well.
That's my little quotable.
Okay.
You not doing yours now? You quit?
Nope. That was
Why?
too good. It can go on and take us right on into our topic today.
Okay.
I'm not even about to offset the spirit. Nope.
All right, y'all.
Not
So,
at all.
Last time we gathered together, I mentioned briefly about what I wanted to talk about this time. So I know we have mentioned, I can't even count how many times, about the standards of being Christian and standards of Christianity. And there are standards for those of you who may not know. I would hope you would know, but sometimes when you're new, you're not sure. So yes, there are standards. There are things that we should be doing as followers of Christ. And the best way to find that information out is through the good book, as they say, which I ain't heard nobody say that in a minute.
No, I was about to say.
Right. I ain't heard that in a minute. But I heard, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about this topic. And as they were talking about it, I was like, Lord, I know this, but I never really, first off, I didn't know where it was in scripture. Secondly, you don't hear anyone talking about this for real. I haven't heard no sermons on this. I haven't heard any teachings on this. Why is this not a worldwide thing? I don't even know if, when you are newly saved, if they have any classes discussing this. And I was like, what? Where has this been? It's right here, plain as day, black and white. And I'm talking about Romans chapter 12. Yes, the entire chapter.
Yeah.
I know people hear whole chapter and their eyes start to glaze over. It ain't that long. It's only like 21, 21 verses, I believe.
21.
So calm down. We're not talking about a whole chapter in the book of Psalms. That's for real, man, because when you tell somebody to read a chapter, they kind of look at you like, ugh, I gotta read the whole thing? Yes.
Yes.
This is only 21 verses. But Romans chapter 12 basically breaks down what is called Christian ethics.
Yeah.
Let's just pause right there. Christian ethics.
Listen.
I'll repeat it. Christian ethics.
That's not something that we are seeing actually go on in the world right now. But let's just define ethics. And ethics is a system of moral principles. They are the rules of conduct recognized in respect to a particular class of human actions or a particular group or culture. Okay? So this is how Christians...
What was that last thing?
It is the rules of conduct recognized in respect to a particular class of human actions or a particular group or culture. So these really are the rules of engagement as to how Christians really should be living and engaging. Yeah.
I just had to, let that sink in for a second, because we kind of, and when I say we, we're talking about Christians. If you have not decided to be a disciple or follower of Christ, then this does not apply to you. But of course, you can still hear it.
Yeah.
We tend to kind of make it up as we go.
Yeah.
We take our ethics from culture.
Yes. And then sprinkle Jesus on top of it.
Right. I was gonna say, and then we add Jesus. And when I say we add Jesus, we add the name, and we think that's it.
Yes.
Right. Just as long as I say Jesus, I'm good and I'm in good standing, and everything is okay. As long as I say his name, that is me adding his stamp of approval. But he is only beholden to what his word says.
Yeah.
Not to what you say. He's not even beholden to how you interpret it. He's beholden to what his word says. So in that, Romans 10:12 not only really gives you a very simple breakdown of how to be ethically as a Christian, meaning what standards you should have. It really talks about the relationship we should live with others.
Yes.
And that is more so with others in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is how you should be interacting with everybody.
Come on now.
That means not just the people you like, not just the people in your church, not just the people in your friend group. This is with everybody. This is with that family member you have problems with. This is with that coworker who's forever nosy and worried about what you're doing.
Yep.
This is for that neighbor who gets on your nerves.
Better yet, this is for the person that doesn't believe the same belief system that you do.
I was just about to say that. This is for everyone who, even those who think they believe what you believe, but really don't believe what you believe.
Come, listen.
Based off their actions.
Yeah. This
is how you have relationships with everyone. Everyone. So the easiest breakdown of chapter 12 is, first off, we head right into it, talking about being a living sacrifice for Christ. Offering your body as a living sacrifice. Now, we've heard that scripture. I can't even count on one hand how many times I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Being a living sacrifice to God, where Apostle Paul calls it our reasonable service, right?
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. We even hear the next few verses all the time, talking about the spiritual gifts that are given to the body of Christ, how these gifts should be used for the service of God, how Paul tells other followers that you shouldn't think more highly of yourselves than you ought. Rather, you should understand that everything you have is a gift from God. So verses 1 through 8, we hear, right?
Yep.
Quite frequently. There have been sermons and teachings on those. 9 through 21?
Nope.
Not so much. Not so much. Once you get past the whole conforming to God and not being conformed to the world, you don't hear nothing about that. Paul starts off very strong with these when he says to love without hypocrisy and to detest evil and cling to what is good. That first one hit me hard. I was like, all right, Lord, I know what you're saying, but I need a little bit more revelation in this, because I know this is bigger than what I'm thinking. So I looked up the word hypocrisy.
Yep.
And hypocrisy means the practice of claiming to have moral standards or belief to which one's own behavior does not conform.
Exactly. It doesn't align.
Basically, stop faking it.
Yeah. You're lying. It's, I can say sweet nothings out of my mouth, but my actions don't line up with that.
Right.
I say I love you with the love of Christ. But do I really?
No, we really don't.
You know, it says for it to be sincere and active, meaning I'm active in that love. You know, I love the amplified version. I'm active in that love. I'm actively showing you in my efforts, not just in my words, how I love you. Because love is action. It's never just verbal. Love is an action that we take towards one another. But go ahead, T.
No, everything you're saying, literally, I was getting ready to say.
Oh, my bad. I know. We've been in each other's notes.
You have to just stop being fake about it. And here's the thing, we think, well, if I'm honest, then I'm a bad person. No, you're not a bad person. That doesn't make you inherently bad. You may need to figure out why you're struggling, right? What feelings are you really feeling that you're shoving down and you're putting on this sprinkle of Jesus mask?
The persona.
That persona, like you said, telling people, well, love you with the love of the Lord because it sounds good.
Or you just were raised that that's how a good person should act instead of actually really fully understanding what these biblical principles teach.
That's good. Another thing is we're not honest about how there are certain people that are hard to love. If there is no way to sugarcoat it, they're hard to love.
Yes.
It is difficult showing them love. And in that, if you are honest and take that issue to God, He will show you how to love them.
Yep.
But you got to be honest. They're difficult. Lord, this person, I try. I try to be nice. I try to be understanding. They are unwavering in their manipulation. They are unwavering in their rebellion. They are unwavering in their pride. I do not know how to love this person.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, well, love them with the love of the Lord. You don't even believe that because you don't even know how that can happen.
Right. I think a lot of times when people say that, it just says to, or what I've seen when I've seen people say that is you just think love them with the love of the Lord means just pat them on the back and give them a pass. And God's love is not like that. He doesn't just pat you on the head and say, oh, do better next time. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he puts you in timeout.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says, hey, you got to have a seat. Sometimes he puts you as your parents used to do back in the day. He grounds you and says, you know what? Or how we say in the South, you know what? A hard head makes a soft behind. I got to give you a butt whooping for this so that you get the lesson. And all of those are actions of love.
They're done out of love.
Done out of love. They're never done to harm. They've always been done to build up.
Right.
And I think there's two sects of Christians that believe that either God is all fear mongering and wrath, and God has wrath, but he is not just wrath, or they think God is all rainbows and sunshine. And while he does love you and wants to see you succeed, he is not just that. We forget the duality of God.
Yeah, we do.
That he is both. And both are for our goodness and for our what's the word I'm looking for, Lord? For our good, that he's doing it. And depending on where we are in our walk, or in that moment of faith with him, or in that moment of disciplinary action that we need from him, will determine which God is going to show up for us. Which side, which hand of his we are going to see. Because he may say right now, you may not need my wrath, but you need my love and my mercy. And so then when we say, I love you with the love of the Lord, well, which one is showing up?
Correct.
Today.
That's good to think about that in that moment. Before I open my mouth to say that. How am I depicting that love?
Yeah. It's so many deeper levels to it, but I feel like, especially in today's day and age, people don't want to reach for the depths of God and what that means, because we would much rather be shallow.
Yeah, because shallow is easy.
It's easy.
It requires no work on your behalf.
Yeah. Yeah. It also allows you to cop out from humanity.
Yes. Yes.
It allows you to put your head in the sand and say, oh, I just love them with the love of the Lord, and go on about my business. And then God is like, you say you love them, but your actions show me that the world that you're creating does not show, nor does it pass along my love.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And y'all, we're not even halfway through with
We not.
Right. So I'm just going to the rest of these scriptures. The rest of these verses. So, verse 10, like we said, love one another deeply as brothers and sisters. Outdo one another in showing honor.
Mm-hmm.
That right there was like, what? Yes, outdo one another in showing honor. Right? That all I can see in that vision is two friends going out to lunch and y'all are fighting over who's paid the bill.
Come on now. Rushing to outdo the other, especially if you're trying to compete with someone. That's the type of competition I want to be out at. Is everything? What movie is it? Lakeith Stanfield was in it, and it was two guys on the sidewalk. Lakeith and I forget the other one's name, and they were outdoing each other to give each other compliments.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it. But yes, that's good.
And I'm like, that's really how we should be living. I want to race you to see if I can honor you more than you even honor me. What a different world we would live in if people took that verse right there seriously.
Outdo one. That's good.
Outdo you in kindness, running to show you kindness, running to show you favor, running to show you honor. Because I'm not worried about you running to show me honor, because it's a competition on how we can outdo each other on that.
Right.
That could end wars right there.
Look, it could. So
I was stuck on that. Said, go ahead.
Do not lack diligence in zeal. Be fervent in the Spirit. Serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be persistent in prayer. We just talked about faith and action,
Yeah.
right? Then share with the saints in their needs. Pursue hospitality. I'm going to repeat that for what's going on. Share with the saints in their needs. Pursue hospitality.
Listen.
We don't know how to be hospitable anymore.
So, we don't.
We don't. We don't respect differences. We're not patient with people. We don't know what hospitality is anymore.
Mm-mm. Because we don't like to be uncomfortable ourselves, and hospitality is not a inward thing, it's outward.
Hospitality.
Yes, and once you realize how selfish we have become as a people, as a society, and I'm talking about this across the board. I am not just talking about this as, and I know, we're based in America, but not just as an American society, just as a society and the earth as a whole. We have become very selfish as people.
Yes. Very selfish. Next verse. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do curse.
You know what I thought of when I read that?
That was hard for me to do.
I really had to, I was like, Lord, that's very hard, especially given the state of what our country is in right now. Yeah. And God, you are still saying for me to pray for these people and to bless them. But they're coming for my rights. They're coming for my livelihood. They're blatantly saying out of their mouths in not as many words that they wish that I cease to exist.
Right.
And yet now, yeah, I was like, and now is the time where this verse comes into play.
Bless those who persecute. Yeah.
Because persecution isn't they don't like you or they're just not friends with you. Persecution, it is a violent word. They are seeking your demise. They hate you. And yet I want you, even though they hate you, to turn around and bless you. I mean, when's the last time you heard that being preached in someone's church?
Oh, we don't talk about that anymore. As much as we love to talk about our haters, we don't talk about blessing those who persecute us, because we forget that, first off, persecution, and not to even stay on this long, persecution is systematic.
Jesus, yeah.
Meaning it's a cycle. There are ebbs and flows to it. It's critical thinking. Persecution isn't a hater.
Yeah.
Persecution is hostility. It is oppression. It is ill treatment. It is a constant cycle of being stomped on and beat up and harassed, and it's systematic. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Lord wants you to bless.
Yeah.
Not just pray for,
but bless them.
Bless them. He wants you to bless them. Those who systematically attack you.
Yep.
we don't know what that means.
Yep.
Let me tell you what to bless somebody means, and then we will move on quickly. So, to bless someone is to speak favorable of them.
Ooh.
To ask God's favor for them.
My Lord.
So those of you who do not like the administration that is in office right now, when's the last time you asked God to bless Trump and the administration that is under him? When is the last time you asked God to protect President Trump and the administration? That's what blessing is.
And you know, I have flashbacks because when Trump was last in office, right when he was getting in, our church at the time was going through teachings on honor. And we went through how to honor the person who is in that seat. We don't have to like them, but you do have to honor where God has positioned them, whether you like them or not. Because even if you feel like they're not needed there, or you don't like them there, God's will is still going to be accomplished no matter who is sitting in that seat.
Bless those who persecute you, and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. That's just show sympathy or empathy.
Yes.
Difference between the words.
Yes.
Right? Live in harmony with one another. Lord have mercy. Help us today.
I mean, seriously, Lord, we need so much help.
Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud. Instead, associate with the humble. Associate with the humble. What your friend group look like?
Oh,
we gonna move on. Do not be in your own estimation.
Look, that's just gonna be a little. Hey, save that for later. Marinate on that, okay?
Look, marinate on. Do not
marinate
be
on
wise.
that.
Do not be wise in your own estimation. Do not repay. Look, do not repay anyone evil for evil.
Come on now.
Give careful thought to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes. I'm going to read that again. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Give careful thought to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes.
Everyone.
Meaning not just what you... Not just what you think.
Mm-hmm.
If the both of you don't think it's honorable, what you doing it for?
Come on now.
Because that's what we're quick to say that. Well, I thought I did the right thing. But if you know that they're not agree with what you do it for.
Now you know good and got good whale. You knew.
And then I get it. Well, at least I tried. Did you?
Yeah, no.
Nah, I don't think you did.
Nah.
I don't think you did. Next verse. If possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Now that verse, I was like, Lord, I need you to break that down for me, because for you to say, if possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. So I have the Tony Evans Study Bible,
Okay.
the CSB version. So I'm going to go to his breakdown of what that means. Just because I was like, I need some help. So he says, many misinterpret this verse to say, in essence, be patient for as long as you can, but once your patience runs out, get ready to throw down.
Okay.
This verse is actually saying, as far as it depends on you, that is, on your side of the relationship, live at peace. Do everything you can to get along with people, and if they should still harbor a grudge, that's on them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Lord, I see what you mean by look, I don't have any beef with you. I don't have a problem with you. I'm not being passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Because I gotta say that, because sometimes
Yep.
be passive aggressive,
Yep.
right? That's not living at peace with somebody. It has to be a genuine, I don't have an issue with
Yeah.
genuinely. Does that mean we're going to necessarily shake hands or hug? Probably not. You clearly got an issue with me, right? But when I interact with you, I'm not going to begrudgingly speak. I'm not going to begrudgingly talk to you. I'm going to treat you the way I know I'm supposed to treat you, irregardless of how you may decide you want to reciprocate or not.
Yes.
And if you decide you don't want to do the same, that's your business.
That's your business.
But that is how you live peaceably with everyone.
Yes.
As far as it depends on you.
That's good. That's good.
So that's it. So the next verse is, friends, do not avenge yourselves. Instead, leave room for God's wrath, because it is written, vengeance belongs to me. I will repay, says the Lord.
Yes. I think that is one verse I have definitely held on to majority of my life from an early age. I knew, and people would ask me, Kristal, you get angry and you walk off. Why? Because I know.
Kristal trying not to black.
I promise you. But I also know that if I walk off now and I let God calm my spirit, He will ultimately deal with whatever it was that was a slight, purposeful slight or not, in the manner in which He sees fit. He will deal with it. And He has never once not dealt with it that I have seen with my own eyes. Whether I saw how they were dealt with or not, or I could feel it. Y'all, when I say, look, just leave it up to Him. I promise you, He can get them in ways that you, in your most creative ways, would have never thought of. So.
And then the caveat to that is, He may not get them the way you want them to get got.
Yeah.
Because the rest of that verse continues and says, but if your enemy is hungry, feed him.
Yes.
If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For in doing so, you will be heaping fiery coals on his head.
Yes.
So I'm not going to repay what you've done to me.
And what I've always interpreted those fiery coals to is the level of embarrassment that someone feels when you don't repay them in turn. I've even seen people, and it's even been proven in history, where enemies have turned out to be better in the long run, better friends to you, especially when they know that you could have repaid them in kind and instead chose to show them grace. They
Right.
are a lot more times more, what's the word that I'm looking for? Lord, it is eluding me. But they value it more because they know that they actually deserved to be paid in kind.
They deserve the wrath.
They deserve the
want
wrath.
to
And the
give,
fact that you
right?
showed them grace, they are more, Lord, I
Appreciate.
can, thank you. There it is. They're more appreciative of it than if it was someone who you never had issues with in the first place. It has been
Yeah.
proven in history. So, just, hey, yeah, that's all I got on that.
Here's another revelation in you doing that. It could be one of the reasons God hasn't dealt with them in whatever way He's choosing is because you in the way.
Oh,
You're in the
well,
way. You've decided
well,
you gonna do it.
well, my Lord.
You're
And you
in
done
the way.
already got exactly what you wanted.
There you go. You wanted to hurt their feelings back. So God's like, you've taken care of it. What you want me to do?
Yeah.
You got what you wanted. They feelings hurt. Now, here's a question. How you feel after that?
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Because you can't be at peace about it. I know you're not at peace. I know you're not at peace. But you weren't seeking that. You were seeking revenge. And that's what you got.
That's what you got.
I'm not going to go any further. Why would God go further than that? You got what you wanted. He's not going to move beyond that.
Mm.
You got exactly what you wanted. You're done. You're done.
Yep.
So the last verse is, do not be conquered by evil, but conquer evil with good.
Yep. Always promote God's goodness, His grace, His favor.
Because we forget that we are undeserving of the grace and favor that He's shown.
Come on now. You
We forget
you
that.
just one decision away from being where they are.
Look, look, and look.
Just one decision away.
One. So verses 9 through 21 are basically not just a guide, but they really should be an action plan that we, as followers of Christ, decide to live by.
Mm-hmm.
Some you're going to get right, some not so much. It should be a practice, though.
Yeah.
It should be a practice on how you treat others. It should be a practice on living with others that you disagree with and being respectful. It should be a practice of learning how to honor others. It should be a practice of not just making sure your body is a living sacrifice to Christ and that you are conformed in the things that He wants you to do and not following the things of the world. It should be a practice that you use the gifts God has given you to edify and build up the kingdom and not think highly of yourself than you should. And it should be a practice to learn how to love in action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to take all of what chapter 12 is saying and practice it daily, you'd be on top.
Come on now.
you would totally be on top. Not that you would be perfect, but you would be processing the perfection God is trying to do through you.
Yeah.
So basically, like we've always said, there's a standard, and this is
a standard. It's a standard. It always has been a standard. And right now, you gotta stay and stick with it, because it's getting to be even more necessary, y'all.
Yes.
It's pivotal right now.
It's very pivotal that we've got to get these.
Because right now, I know a lot of you think, especially in the U.S., we're battling a government, or we're battling oligarchies, or we're battling Republicans, or we're battling white versus black, or we're battling LGBTQ, or we're battling this. We are battling spirits.
Yeah.
We're battling spirits. Spirits of jealousy, spirits of narcissism, spirits of Jezebel. We are battling spirits. And when you fully recognize that, then you should then know how to fight.
Yes.
Okay? And God is literally telling you, these are how I want you to fight these battles. And this is the standard in which I need you to live so that you can adequately fight these battles. So, it's important. It's pivotal. What you got, T?
I don't have much, man. I mean, they're simple, they're difficult, but they're doable.
Yeah.
You can't read these verses and be confused on what to do. They are very straightforward. This right here is the meat.
Yep.
This right here is meat. So if you're not sure what you should be doing, it's right here. Romans chapter 12.
Right there.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's all I got. That's all
I got.
I didn't have anything else to say. So, where can they find you, Tanisha?
You guys can find me on Facebook at Tanisha Williams, and Instagram is She Is Tanisha J.
And as always, guys, you can find me on Instagram at I Am Kristal Charmaine, or Facebook at I Am Kristal Charmaine as well. Until next time,
we'll see you guys.
See ya.
Thanks again for listening. We hope that you were blessed by today's discussion. To keep up with the latest on the She Laughs podcast, be sure to subscribe on most major streaming platforms. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you feel led to donate, please send donations to paypal.me/She Laughs. And don't forget to send us your questions as well. We'd love to hear from you. As always, stay blessed.